guys, I'm Rafael and I'm a Warrior Addict brand Warrior, and this is the third instalment of a three-part series for the Christmas and holiday period. So this is really intentioned for Boxing Day, so if you've been sat around for a couple of days, body's starting to feel a little bit sluggish and you feel like you could do with a little bit more movement, kind of deeper movement into the body, build a little strength and energy back, this is the sequence for you. So we'll need a strap or a towel, as is often the case with my videos, and also recommended a brick, but non-essential, again, as usual. We're going to start on the hands and knees today, so take your props off to one side and come round. From here, starting with a little cat-cow, so let's warm the spine up, bring some movement in. Hands below shoulders, tops of the feet down. I'm going to breathe in and look forwards, tailbone up. As I breathe out, hollowing in. Slow, long inhale. And a slow, long exhale. Let's get those lungs working, right? Breathing in. Keep the spine long, neck long. Breathing out, press the floor away, strong arms, stretch the shoulders. And once more. And coming back to center. Tuck your toes for a sec, sit back towards the heels. Doesn't matter if you sit all the way onto them, but press your hands down and reach back. Get those feet a little open, toes spreading and stretching. And here, as a little test out, if you bend your elbows, notice where they go. If they go out to the sides like this, could you instead wrap them in, so if you were to bend them, they'd lower down towards the mat. So this is the general alignment in the arms for down dog. Rather than having the shoulders bunched around the ears, there's a sense of wrapping the triceps inwards, so the shoulders spread wide. Think about broadening the upper back, broadening the shoulders. From here, come forwards and find your down dog. You might tread one leg out, bending one knee, stretching the other leg, and then switching. And taking that a couple times. And then taking 3 breaths in your down dog. Remember shoulder blades wide, arms wrap in a little bit. And I think it's really helpful to bend the knees slightly so it's easier to send your hips up and feel the spine lengthen. From here, as you breathe in, we're going to lift the heels, and as you breathe out, bend the knees, slowly walk the feet towards the hands. If that's difficult, you might come onto the ball of the foot and then press up into a forward fold, elbows onto the knees. You could be here or you could release down, bent knees, across the arms, take a little rock out. So we're going to take a half sun salutation here. Lift the chest. Take your palms down, step back into a plank position. Take a full breath in. As you breathe out, lower the knees, lower all the way down. Inhale, lift the spine, chest wide. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Full breath out, bend the knees. Step 1 foot forwards and the other. Coming up halfway, breathing in. Coming all the way down, breathing out. Just a half lift. Breathe in, come up halfway, long spine. Breathe out, palms down, step back. You might lower your knees down, or if you're feeling more energetic, maybe lower down in a plank position and then to the floor. Cobra, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Take a breath in, lengthen the spine. Take a breath out. This time lower your knees, step your right foot forwards. You could use your hand to get it closer, or you could pad your back knee up. We're coming up, kneeling position. Take a breath in, lift the arms. I like to keep the arms wide here so that I have more space across the shoulders. Some styles of yoga will bring the palms together, which has its benefits, but if you want to feel open, feel spacious today, you might keep the arms a little wider. Breathing in, and breathing out, hands down. Lift your right hand into a twist. Arms spread wide, back toes tuck, and lift your knee. You might breathe here. If you're feeling energetic still, you could come onto the left fingertips. So the work is in your legs and your core. If you've got a little bit more strength, you might even start to float the hand just above the floor, like you're suspended. And then hands down, step back. Either lower to your knees or take your first chaturanga, elbows in. Flip your feet over for cobra or up dog. Flip them back over for downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And a breath out, lower the knees. Left foot steps forwards. Set up your foundation, kneeling position. The arms lift. Shoulders nice and wide. So that same feeling of down dog, shoulder blades are going really broad, that they could wrap around the side of the body almost. Lifting through the spine and the lower back. And sort of opening the front of the body. You've been sat down for a little while, body needs some movement. On your next exhale, hands come down, left arm rising into a twist. Shoulders wide. You can tuck the back toes and lift the knee. If you like, keep pressing that back thigh up so you're really powerful in that leg. Feel the glute working. Maybe you come onto the right fingertips. Maybe you float for a moment, suspended in space. And then hands back down, step back, plank, chaturanga, elbows close. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Breath out, lower the knees. Same again, right foot steps forward. Crescent position. This time breathe here, tuck your toes, a little bit of a power up. Bring your hands towards your chest. We're going to come into a lunge position, lift the back knee. From here, turn your back heel down, warrior two, arms wide. Take a moment to reverse. And now rest your front arm on your knee. From here, you could breathe and find length through the back of the body. That top arm could go straight up, or eventually it's coming alongside the ear. If it's alongside the ear, actually it's helpful to reach the arm away, I find, and then sweep it forwards and up, and allow it to rise just alongside the ear. Sometimes that gives you a little more freedom. If you've got a bit more space here, you could even take your hand down to the floor, or onto that brick if you're working with one. Two more breaths. And then release, bring your hands back down, remove any props, step back. Either down dog or another chaturanga if you're feeling up for it. Lift the chest, draw the shoulders back. Downward dog. Breath in. Breath out, knees down, left foot comes forwards. Take your time. When you're ready, kneeling position. Arms lift for a moment. And the palms come together. Take a moment, power up that back leg, toes tuck, and we're lifting. Long lunge. One full breath. Keep lifting through the front of the body. And then back heel down, open the arms, warrior two. Check your front knees above your front ankle. reversing, and the elbow comes down. I'm in a really long Warrior 2 stance here. Yours could be a little bit shorter. See what works for you today. And then arm either comes up or sweeps forwards and up so it can come alongside the ear. You could be here, you could put your hand on the brick or the hand on the floor. In this variation, I'm bringing my hand inside the front foot rather than outside. Both are valid options, but here today using this to open the chest and find length. One more breath. And then hands down. Step it back. Down dog or your vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, lower the knees. Take a moment in child's pose. Either forehead onto your fists or onto the mat. From here, slowly come up. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forwards this time. And then come all the way up to stand. Can you turn your feet to face forwards? So we're going to come into a low fold. Now, it could be helpful before we move in to have your strap nearby, maybe your brick. To begin with, I'm going to take my legs into a V shape, and I'm going to turn my toes in a little bit. From here, I'm lengthening my legs, hands to the hips. I'm going to slowly lower down. And I might at this point take my hands onto the brick and re-lengthen my spine. So I'm sending my tailbone up as I take my chest forwards so I get really long, rather than crunching in and keeping my front body really long. You could continue to breathe here. You could lower the height of the block. You could be on the hands. If you've got loads of room, palms are down. And if you're there, the hands might even start to walk back as you fold in between the legs like this. Don't worry if that's not there for you, if that doesn't feel good today. Working on the brick gives you the exact same benefits. Long spine, hamstring stretched. So in a moment we're going to come up, and you might, for efficiency's sake, take your strap or towel up with you. From here, come all the way up. Now, I'm going to take this behind my back, and I'm going to hold it in my hands, hold it taut when we fold. From here, pouring forwards, and the arms come up and over. So my chest lowers, my arms start to lift, and I get that really sweet shoulder stretch. If your hands are further apart, it's going to be more spacious. If they're close together, it's going to be a little deeper. Find where works for you right now. Just one more breath. And then slowly release. And from here, wiggle your feet or jump them together. And lower down, take a moment to sit. Give the wrists a little circle, shoulders a little circle. Check it out. So from here, you'll be pleased to know we're going to lie down. So we work to build a little energy, a little warmth. Let's just take one last hip opener and then we'll rest. Going to lie down on the back of the body, feet flat, knees bent. I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee into a figure four. One of my favourite hip opening stretches. Reach through behind your left thigh and draw the knee in. And notice my right foot is really flexed. When this foot is flexed, i.e. toes curling back towards the same knee, it means my knee is a little bit more stable. If you've got loads of room here, you could even take your hands around the shin or the left knee. Maybe you take a rock side to side. And then release. And simple switch. Left ankle over, foot active, knee stable, reaching through. And if you just curl up to catch the leg, that's fine. Once you're there, let the head and the neck rest back down towards the mat. If you find your neck is hanging, you could also take a block beneath the head. And again, you might take a little rock side to side. It can feel nice for some people. And then from here, you're releasing. So taking one last twist. Bring your right knee into the chest, left leg long, and then cross the right leg over the body. You could open your arms out. You could even look down the right arm, releasing the neck and shoulder. And then coming back in, switching sides. The breath stay deep even here. So we can work with the twist. A calm deep breath helping to expand and create space, and also create a little bit of sense of release. And coming back to center. Hug the knees in, take a little rock. And then from here, finding a few moments of peace in Shavasana. Reaching the legs out, if that feels good. And keeping them bent if that feels better. Let's take a big breath in together. And release. Letting the body become heavy, nervous system calm, quiet. So you might rest here for a minute or two, or maybe longer if you have time, 5 or 10 minutes. So thank you once again for joining me. I hope you found these videos useful and that you can use them on an ongoing basis when you need a little 15-minute energy boost. Thank you.